Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Sue Bergeron, and I'm talking to you this morning about our immersive virtual exploration platform as part of the GGDP project. And what we were trying to do with this and have been for the last several years is working to present elements of the collections to a wider audience through the development of an immersive virtual landscape exploration platform. So essentially using a virtual world that people can explore and embedding elements of the collections and stories built around them so that a broader range of people can actually experience the human connections to these collections. So we're utilizing video game technologies, mechanics and narrative design inspiration from state-of-the-art video games. Our work is built on the Unity 3D platform, so some of you may be familiar with that, but essentially Unity provides an editor and a whole suite of tools for state-of-the-art 3D graphics rendering, navigation, interaction functionalities. So how do you interact with objects in these worlds? And a user interface. So tools to build an interface to package everything together and help out with things like tracking progress and menus and exit and all those types of things. So our hope with this too is that with Unity, we have a lot of options in terms of deployment. So we can create a web-based element, we can deploy to desktop, mobile VR, and we can have it at kiosks at various places. So our hope is to be able to get this out to as wide an audience as possible. So our organization for this project has been to utilize scenes, the idea of scenes. And we have for each of our demonstration projects, so Virtual Sandy Island and Virtual Plantersville, which you'll see a little bit of here, we have organized them around places that have meaning for the collections, for different elements in the collections. And so first we do a virtual representation of the place, and then embed story elements in a digital format, so multimedia, that we're referring to as spatial vignettes. They're short. They include things like text pop-ups that might deliver quick facts, audio elements that are either recorded from interviews or in scripted situations, we have voice actors. And then we have video elements that include recorded interviews, historical footage, perhaps, or prepared image and text slideshows. And these elements are curated for each of the scenes. And together, as the user explores the environment and sees these elements, they're able to kind of build their own story, which is the goal of the virtual experience, build their own story from what we provided them. And so the first example is Virtual Sandy Island. So this one has been in the development for us for several years. This is where we've kind of cut our teeth and learned as much as possible. 3 scenes were developed for a Virtual Sandy Island: the Pyatt General Store and Landing, so where you first arrive in Sandy Island, the Sandy Island School, which is a well-known landmark and now on the National Register, and New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church, so the church that is a core of culture on Sandy Island. And for each of those places, we selected and scripted elements of the story of the importance of Sandy Island to its residents, potentially information users might want to know as visitors. And we worked on how we could best embed those within the landscape, utilizing our inspiration from state-of-the-art video games examples that we looked at. So here you can see the pop-ups. And part of our design element was trying to figure out how we could help users see this is what you need to look at. So coming up with symbology for the different types of interaction points, how to help move around, how to navigate between scenes, how to track your progress. So all of those things were first developed with Sandy Island as you're seeing the example. Our second example piece, Virtual Plantersville, really is illustrating where we are now. So we're further along in the project. We've been able to refine those interfaces. So here you can see our main elements of moving around and interacting with icons that are in the landscape are guided now by you see the glowing rings. So, hey, a little bit of guidance, especially for users that might not be too comfortable in this environment initially. We have our progress screens. We have our ability to jump to different scenes. And also, we are learning more about how to construct the scenes themselves, how to make them look more appealing in the virtual environment, how to balance that with performance. And so this is really where we are doing our work now. We're in testing for these environments. We've had some user testing a little bit along the way, testing within our project team. We're ready to start full scale user testing. And our road ahead includes refining that based on feedback, looking again at some of our other deployment platforms, and going back and saying, how can we improve the user interface design? How can we improve usability? What about the stories that we're telling? Are users, compelled by the elements that we have, that we've selected out of our collections? We're going to look at flexibility in terms of how can we expand this, and also look at accessibility and some of those issues. So that's kind of our roadmap ahead. And we've been excited about the work we've been able to do, and we're hoping to continue to improve on it.